Hi, welcome to my vlog. Today I'm going to discuss the use of technology in the classroom based on the experiences of three of my colleagues. I interviewed three teachers from my school about the integration of technology into their classrooms. I expected that they would have similar concerns and challenges to myself as we work in the same school. I also considered the limited access to technology that we presently have in our school. There is no internet access, the school owns only 3 projectors, and we have old outdated laptops. Many teachers bring in their own equipment to use in the classroom. After I reviewed the ISTE standards for educators and students, I came up with the following questions related to relevance, collaboration, and access to technology. What are some of the deciding factors that you consider before incorporating technology into a lesson? Do you share resources with other teachers in your department? Do you collaborate with other teachers to create content for your subject area? What programs, apps, or websites do you use in your classroom to aid curriculum delivery? What programs, apps, or websites do you recommend to students, if any? Do you allow students to use phones, tablets, laptops, or other devices in class? What types of technology do you like to have in your ideal classroom? I interviewed physics, information technology, and physical education teachers. There's quite a range of experience among them. One teacher has been with us for 1 year and another for 16 years. Here's a summary of their responses. Deciding factors for using technology in the classroom range from access, relevance to lesson, age group of students, levels of engagement, contingency plans in the case of tech failure, whether the content was relatable in our cultural context, appropriate language, and quality level. All the teachers said they shared their resources within their department and collaborated with others to create content for classes. The teachers all used common software apps and websites in their classroom, like Microsoft Office, WhatsApp, YouTube, and Google. And also some subject-specific ones like MyFitnessPass, PE Central, and TechICT.com. They also recommended these resources to their students. All of the teachers that I interviewed allowed the students to use laptops only in their classroom. A reliable internet connection was the most desired tech for all the teachers. Other desired items included more computers, a television, a projector, speakers, tablets, headphones, and a Nintendo Wii. Elisa, the physical education teacher, shared a very detailed lesson plan with me for a 1 hour and 10-minute lesson on injuries in sport. The set induction to begin her lesson was a video showing injuries that some athletes suffered while playing sports. The lesson was then delivered mainly through PowerPoint, which incorporated activities, theory for the students to write notes from, and class discussions. I liked how Elisa used her PowerPoint for 2 separate activities projected on the board. I think that they were timed well between covering content so students could get a break from the theory. They were appropriate and supported the 2 main subtopics covered: chronic or acute injuries in sport and soft and hard tissue injuries in sport. I think that her lesson plan was ambitious for 1 hour and 10 minutes and wonder if she managed to accomplish all she planned to do in the allotted time. My main suggestion for improvement would be to give handouts to the students with the notes instead of having them write it down from the slide. The saved allocated time could be used for writing or another projected activity based on the information presented. I think that given the limited tech access in our school, this was a good use of what is available to us. After considering my colleagues' responses, my cohort's input, and my own experience on the use of technology in our school, I think the following checklist of questions would be most appropriate to help guide my own technology-enabled lesson plans. Firstly, you should consider if your selected technology is relevant to the lesson. Oftentimes, many teachers may want to just insert random videos and audio just for the sake of having technology, so we should consider if it does indeed support the lesson being covered. Secondly, we should consider if it's accessible to both the teacher and student. Whatever technology, apps, programs, even computers, we should consider if both the students and teachers have access to it. For example, I often use WhatsApp groups with my older students to communicate outside of class time. But some of my students don't have smartphones and they don't have WhatsApp. So I need to figure out how to accommodate them and communicate with them despite that. We can also consider if the selected content is appropriate for students, for example, their age or their cultural references. I struggle with this sometimes because we live in the Caribbean and we're a very diverse space. A lot of the content that I project or play for my students is oftentimes American, so they speak and look differently from we do. So that's something I'm very conscious of when I'm selecting content. Also, we should consider if there's a backup plan if the tech fails. This has happened to me many times where the speakers don't work or the projector never gets delivered to my classroom. So in our lesson planning, we should always have a backup plan should our intended vision for the class not materialize.